Luke Cage, the hero for hire. Yeah, this character debuted in 1972 in his own comic. And let me tell you something, we're going to look at the first 10 issues of Luke Cage Hero for Hire, specifically the cover art. And this is a special treat because this is high level stuff, okay? I'm going to be giving them 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, or whatever I feel like. But man, this one was tough. And we're looking at the classic Luke Cage, not the bald dude with the goatee and the yellow tank top. No, we're talking about the yellow silk shirt and the reverse tiara. All right, and the chain belt around his waist. Okay, I dig the old Luke Cage look, and I wish they brought it back in the real life TV show. But we're gonna get right into it. Issue number 1 of Luke Cage Hero for Hire. This was done by John Romita Sr., classic Marvel artist, mostly of Spider-Man fame. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. To me, John Romita's art epitomizes what comic book art is all about in its most classic sense, and it's distilled to its most pure elements. And the issue number 1, or the first issue here, this cover, at first I wasn't sure if I was going to give it a 5, but when I look at not just Luke Cage in the front, the introduction, the first time you ever seen this character, this is how it is. But the background here, the red, it really sets the tone for what kind of series this is. It's not a regular superhero series. This is like a blaxploitation movie poster with the montage images. A lot of the movies of that time in the early 70s, action movies, movies with a lot of car chases, people running from cops, and so on, had those, mixture of elements in the background and foreground, just to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. Like, this is what the movie's gotten it. I miss movie posters like that, and this cover reminds me of those. Sensational Origin issue. Man, I think you would have to pick this up for 20 cents back in 1972. Hot damn. Sweet Christmas, man. Sweet Christmas. Pick it up. This is a 5-star cover. This is a tough first 10 issues to grade because so many of them are worthy of 5 stars. But I'm gonna try to take away marks as much as I can, I guess. This one, I just can't do it. Beautiful stuff, 5 stars. Let's go to number 2. This is also by John Romita Sr. Let's see here. He's busting through the wall. Like the Kool-Aid Man. You gotta love that. But again, the residents of the building, I don't know if they appreciate that. Is there a door he could have used? Doing a bit more harm than help, Luke. People live there, man. All right, but he's getting shot at. Diamondback, I believe, must be the dude on the right, throwing some kind of bladed weapon, a throwing knife. And Luke Cage he just catches bullets all the time. He's got that tungsten skin. He's not too worried about that. This one, I gotta give it maybe a 4. I don't know, the white background or the frame around it is okay, I guess. A lot of the covers that you'll see have that element to it with different colors. This one has good depth to it. The city scene in the back is well drawn. The action is good. I don't know, 4.5 or something. I don't know if I could really give this a 5. But it's hard to criticize, really. I'm just going to give it a 4. This is a tough first 10 issues to get through. I can't give everything a 5. This one doesn't hit me as much as some of the other ones. So I'm just going to leave it at that and give it a 4. Let's move on to issue number 3. Now, this is the work of Billy Graham. Now, I'm not talking about the televangelist, and I'm not talking about the superstar Billy Graham of wrestling fame. He had the gift of gab, man. But this is the artist, Billy Graham. Legendary African-American artist. He was a bit before my time. I didn't really know about him when I was a kid until much later. And when I look at some of his work, because he pretty much carries on for the next little while for Luke Cage. In the next, 8 issues or so, it's his work. It's his work. And this one is, you see Luke Cage on top of this helicopter way above the city, smashing the tail off of it, getting shot at by 2 dudes at a funny angle. This villain hanging out the door of the helicopter, his name is Mace, obviously. You see his left hand. It is a heavy mace, and he's shooting at him with his right hand. He's playing dangerous out there. I don't know if he knows something that we don't, if he's more secure than he looks, but I don't know if that's an oversight by the artist. This is a great cover, man. I love the colors. The depth of the city in the background is beautiful, and the angle of the helicopter kind of lends itself to a lot of a drama and urgency. Ah, man. Mace is his name, murder's his game. Him hanging out the window or the door looking like he's not secure at all. Do I take enough? And the other guy shooting out the back. That's kind of odd. It looks like a Cobra or G.I. Joe toy with something unrealistic on it. Is that enough to make it a 4? Maybe. A 4.5? Maybe. I don't know. But the colors are beautiful. The action is great. Oof. I would have definitely picked this up and wanted to read it. 4.5 or something, man. I can't give everything a 5. I got a nitpick because the quality is so good. Billy Graham is a great artist, man. Ahead of his time. The 70s had a lot of great cover art, but he had a style of his own, man. But yeah, let's move on. Issue number 4. The colors just pop, don't they? The blue frame around it. So far, most of the covers have had that look to it. That's really distinctive. This villain throwing this machine at Luke Cage, who is wearing a different kind of shirt now. This one's a little bit more like the modern Luke Cage, the tank top look. But he's getting smashed on the back by it, and he's dealing with it. This is a nice one, man. I don't know if there's something a little bit awkward about Luke Cage getting hit by that. It doesn't really look like he's necessarily getting hit that hard by it. He's taking it a bit too well, I think. Man, I don't know. The colors are great though. They really catch your eye. But I don't know if the ease by which Luke is taking this impact kind of takes away from it. I might have to give it a 4 just for that reason. But yeah, if this was a different comic series with varying quality, this would probably even be a 5. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 4 though, just because. It's still great work though, all in all. All right, let's move on to number 5, issue number 5. Now this one, this one to me is absolutely fantastic. A fantastic cover. Luke Cage is wrecking shop. He's basically got a pile of dudes growing where he's just been laying them out to waste. Now he's getting shot out by Black Mariah on the right there, a morbidly obese woman with a scowling facial expression and probably a wig. There's garbage cans strewn all about the street. There's another dude in the back coming to get some by Luke Cage. And look at the cityscape in the background. To me, I don't know why, but that is what puts this over the top for me. I love the city scene. I love the environment. I don't know if there's something a little odd about the way the dudes at the bottom are getting piled up, but I'm going to overlook that, if anything. Things is just chaotic with Luke Cage just throwing hands. He's getting shot at. I love her facial expression. A morbidly obese woman on the cover cannot take away the 5-star rating. Don't mess with Black Mariah. This is a great cover. And one of many as I move on to number 6, where Luke Cage is continuously getting his shirts torn to shreds, where at some point he may as well be wearing a Gordon Gartrell from Cosby's Show. R.I.P. Malcolm Jamal Warner. You know, he's getting tore up here. The assassin in armor. See, he's busting up some armored foes here, but look at this one in the back. Something I don't know. I'm not really sure I like something about the detail on the armor of the green knight with the axe coming down. I don't know if I'm nitpicking. Maybe the armor just would look like that. I don't know. But to me, the chest looks a little odd to me. Luke Cage is doing an interesting action pose, that's for sure. Something about the ground and maybe the background itself is kind of bothering me a bit. I'm going to give it a 4 just for that reason. But it's still a very good one. But maybe as of yet, we can do better. We can do better, and we've done better. We're on to number 7. Now, this is a Christmas issue. You can see the Christmas tree in the background. And look at the dialogue. No, it can't happen. Merry Christmas, world, and goodbye. As this man named Marley in this story presses the destruct button, which you can clearly see is labeled destruct, facing us, the viewer, which is maybe a bit of a mistake. But this is an awesome cover in my mind. This is amazing stuff. The depth, the layer, or the layers of the composition of this image is amazing stuff. The explosion out the window, off in the distance, Luke Cage reacting in the middle ground, and the villain in the foreground pushing the button. The colors, every color of the rainbow is on this one in some way. This is beautiful stuff. This is comic art. This is a 7. This issue number 7 is a 5. 7 stars? Can I give it a 7 star? No, but this is a 5-star cover. Billy Graham outdoing himself again. He really knows how to draw facial expressions too. Look at Luke Cage's facial expression in number 8. First the androids duped up like human beings, and now you. Oh man, his eyes are about to come out of his skull. A surprise supervillain. Oh, come on, you can probably tell who it is, can't you? This is issue number 8, where Dr. Doom appears. Alright, I like a lot of what's going. Again, his shirt is just torn to shreds. Look at the robot here in the background, or the one on the left, with the knife in its hand, but pulling its human face off of its robot head. That's an interesting image there. One thing, I don't know, there's barrels in the background, in the back, to the left, which I maybe could have done without, and the white background in the back kind of take away from this. But otherwise, this could have been a 5, but I think it loses points. Some of that stuff was a little bit lazy, I think. But again, this is a high standard we're working with here. Let's go to number 9. in the series. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, number 9. Dr. Doom, there's no mystery here. None may invade my kingdom. Here it is I who have the power of life and death in this showdown. Luke Cage is just getting blasted at close range by Dr. Doom. But he looks like he's taking it pretty well. I know Luke Cage is tough. I know that's a big part of, his powers and who he is. I just wonder, in wrestling terms, it's kind of like he's not selling for his opponent. If this was Spider-Man, he'd be flying through a wall or something, or he'd be on the ground, picking himself up. But Luke Cage is kind of like, you're not gonna get me with that. Yeah, I don't know. Is that worth taking points away? We're grading on a curve almost in this one. The quality is so good. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a 4 just because of that. But that's tough. I don't know. Somebody could give it a 5. I wouldn't argue. I couldn't really argue. We're going to go to the last one for this video. Number 10. All right, issue number 10. Look at this. They call him Mr. Death. And I believe they call him Señor Muerte in this one. Señor Muerte. Look at what he's saying, though. It's a little bit wordy. You may be bulletproof, Cage, but let's see how long those cast iron lungs of yours keep you alive when this drain fills up with water. Okay, and they're in the sewers here. You can see the rats in the foreground. God, ugh. All right, and Luke Cage is shirt torn up in sewer water. He's not very deep in the water, though. His hair is all up in there. Lift your head up, dude. The water looks a bit uneven. I don't know, but Señor Muerte, Mr. Death, he's feeling himself here. This is a pretty impressive cover. It's very distinctive. I love the work on the background. The sewer tunnels is really well done. The red at the top and of the cover, and the red on Mr. Death's costume really pop. And his maniacal expression. Oh man, I don't know. The position of Luke Cage looks a little odd. I don't know if that's enough for me to give it a 4. Again, maybe I'll just give it a 4 just because I can't give 5s for everything. This is still a great cover, man. And that's the first 10 issues of Luke Cage. The 70s were really working at a high level when it came to cover art in particular. Luke Cage Hero for Hire hit a high note, didn't it? Even the high standards of the 70s, I think, were kind of surpassed in this first 10 issues. Maybe I'll be back one day with the next 11 to 20 or so. But I got some business to take care of. So I'm out of here for the Pop Culture Cosmonaut. And that's it. We're out.